thought it was because of 4.0, which you understood to me. Oh, what? What?
I guess the opposition will feel that they maybe should.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is with great excitement I know all of the stakeholders involved, all of our sponsors, all of our partners. We're just so overwhelmed with the level of participation that we've seen so far with registration, etc. So I want to just thank you again for being a part of a regional event, one that is very unique and the first of its kind. So I want to welcome you guys to the MedSchool kickoff. It's going to involve students who have volunteered precious time. There's precious time from the three major campuses associated with UWI. So we have Cave Hill representatives, Mona representatives, as well as St. Augustine representatives. So let us get started, guys. I'm extremely excited to just kick off this program. Let's see how much that we can actually expose you guys to, and let's see how much you can actually learn. So I want you guys to be just keep up with us. We're going to have giveaways towards the end of the program. We're going to try to be as interactive as possible. And we're going to see most of all that we need to ensure that we can provide you with as much unique information coming directly from the persons involved in the entire process. So I want to congratulate everyone once again. I know that some of you have not been accepted yet, but I have faith that, and I also hope that your dreams do come true. I know that the faculty will eventually start admitting students. I know they've already started, and I know that you guys have some form of promise. I am Xavier Brown. You'll soon be introduced to me. You'll see a picture, you'll see my positions. I am a third-year medical student. So let us go. So welcome again, kickoff day 1. And we all are very excited here to have you. So quite obviously, before we get into any of the stuff that we want to discuss today, you need to understand who exactly helped me and helped our sponsors put on this program. Because again, the last thing I'd really want to happen is for you to believe that you're just talking to a laptop screen. Because I know with COVID and all of that, you guys may feel a bit secluded. So I want you guys to just make note of the faces based on the campuses that you'll be attending and even post graduating from those campuses. So that when it is that you see that particular person on campus, you just wave to them, say hello, and these are the same persons that will be able to actually offer advice to you, even post this orientation kickoff program. So who are we, right? So from the UWI Mona campus, we're blessed to have with us, well, first of all, me. So I'm Xavier Brown, I'm a third-year MBBS student. I also am the UWI Mona Surgical Society President, Hyperacademics Pre-Clin Content Director. I am a part of a very famous trio of tutors at the Mona campus. We have an excellent track record of actually assisting students. A's are guaranteed with us. And I also am the CEAC, so Cultural and Entertainment Affairs Chairperson for my MBBS DDS class. Joining me, I have Owen Hyatt right here. He's also a third-year medical student, a very good friend of mine. He is Hyperacademics preclinical content creator and also a part of that very infamous Mona Hypotrio tutor group. Here is Eric Dixon, a very good friend of mine as well, third-year medical student, UWI Mona Surgical Society VP. He is also a Hyperacademics preclinical content creator, and he is the final person involved in the Hypotrio tutor group. Also joining us is Abigail Lindo. A lot of you who may be attending the Mona campus will have to interact with her. She is the MBBS DDS class of 2024's president. She's also the PRO for standing committee at Mona, as well as a UWI Mona Surgical Society tutor. We also have Keziah Laxman, who is our representative from Mona as a second-year DDS student, as well as the DDS class of 2024 president. Leslie Walcott, a second-year DDS student at Mona, and she also sits on the class of 2024 exec board. We also have Ashley Gore. She's a second-year medical student at Mona. She is also our head of events at the UWI Mona Surgical Society, as well as a tutor with the organization. Kelly Bennett, she is a second-year medical student as well, a local officer for a standing committee with JAMSA, as well as a UWI Surgical Society tutor. So we also have Ajitesh Sharma, who is the UWI Surgical Society Year 2 preclinical rep. And Brittany Gordon, who is the second-year DDS student or a second-year DDS student at the Mona campus. So guys, if it is that you know that you're associated with UWI Mona, those are some of the faces that you actually want to familiarize yourself with. As students, these are students who can offer great advice for you and will be assisting you throughout the entirety of this program. So we move on to Trinidad. And we're going to move on to their campus. So the representatives that we have here are actually Samaya. She's the DSAT president, and she's also a fourth-year DDS student. We also have Sarada, who is the vice president of the same organization, representing the dental students. We have Shivani, who is a preclinical representative with the same organization, and she's also a third-year DDS student. And we have Adam, who's a third-year medical student, and he's also the TTMSA president at that campus. And we have Maguire Pindo, who is the TTMSA vice president of finance. So those are the faces that you'd want to be you want to familiarize yourselves with. And we move on to our final campus at Cave Hill. And our representatives include Gabriel Harewood, who is a second-year medical student and also the Cave Hill MSA Vice President. Julian Phillip, who is Cave Hill MSA Event and Planning Officer, as well as a second-year MBBS student at the campus. And Kadeja Blanchette, who is a third-year medical student, and she is our president at the Cave Hill campus of the surgery interest group. So that's just a quick overview of the persons who are going to be speaking with you. These persons have adequate experience again, and I want to ensure that you guys actually utilize the information that these persons give to you, because it can prove to be very useful throughout your med school and dental school tenure. Now, just to quickly highlight what's on today's agenda, we want to quickly just revise what the plans for the kickoff are. So what it is that we are going to be covering for the next few days and what we hope that you can actually learn. We're going to have an icebreaker to actually break into this session. We're then going to get more into understanding medical and dental school, some of the common misconceptions that you may already have, that persons may have told you before, that you may have just conjured up yourself based on what you see on TV. And once it is that we've described to you the common misconceptions, we're then going to present to you what the real medical or dental school is like. We're then going to give you some personal testimonials from unique students here. And then we'll just do a quick overview of the registration process, what to expect possibly from online school. Again, I know a number of you have messaged me asking, do you know if it is that we're going to be doing face-to-face classes or online school? We're going to try our best during this session to give you a feel of both worlds, because while it is that it's pretty unpredictable right now, we want to ensure that if it is that you're flung into an online school setting right now, you know how to maneuver yourself through that system. We're then going to introduce you to the giveaway, and then we're going to have a short question and answer interactive session towards the end. So are you guys ready to have a little, icebreaker? No? Can I get a little excitement in the chat, guys? I'm not speaking to the wall. So no one wants to. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you, Simon. I'm seeing the names come in. Thank you. I know how I started might have been a bit boring and just a lot of faces, but guys, let us enjoy ourselves, because who knows, this might be the final time for you to actually enjoy yourself. Maybe, maybe not, we don't know, right? So let's go. So I have a few questions for you guys here. I know that you're the creme de la creme from the Caribbean. You don't need to start answering just yet, right? So I say Trinidad, I want to see my Jamaicans, my Vincentians, my Kititians, I want to see my Bajans representing themselves now from the different campuses. What it is that I'm going to do is that I'm going to put a poll up, right? So you're going to see a little poll coming up on your screen for each question. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to give you about 30 to 45 seconds, up to probably a minute if I feel nice today, to give you guys the opportunity to answer. I know that I'm going to get the correct answer from all of you students, but I just want to see if it is that you're much smarter than the crew that I have here, because they did pretty well in answering these questions. So I'm going to put up the first poll right now. And what I want you to do is to put the answer for the first question. Remember, you guys have 1 minute. Guys, please don't write on my slides. Come guys, we've seen 60, 80 of 149. Who said all answers are C? That's a thing, you know. In medical school, a lot of persons, but I can tell you from my own experience, a lot of the answers are probably D, but you won't realize or not there. In medical school, the answers are just not there. Right? So guys, 103 of 149 have responded. Can we get it to 120? All right, guys, I'm ending the poll in 3, 2, 1. So can you guys see the results? So I see where 88% of you guys decided to choose the femur. 5% chose the vertebrae. 4% chose the humerus, and 4% chose the radius. So which bone is the femur? What do we in layman terms call the femur bone?
Thigh bone.
The thigh bone, right? So you guys screaming at me. Vertebrae, humerus, radius. So I'm really impressed. 80%, 88% of you actually chose the right answer. The femur is definitely the largest bone. It's not the humerus. It's not the vertebrae. Actually, a matter of fact, the vertebrae is one of the, if not the smaller bone of, well, if you were to individualize it, the smaller bone of the 4, right? So, right. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to allow you to, and Simon, I know you chose the wrong answer, right? So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to allow you to now answer the second question. So I'm going to relaunch the poll. All right, guys? So go ahead, 1 minute again. All right, guys, I'm seeing answers coming. So far, it's just the wrong answer I'm seeing. Can I get more responses? Guys, there are 152 of you in here. I'm pretty sure I can get 152 responses. Please don't disappoint your teachers. Ribs in general, Adam. Good question, though. Just all the ribs. All right, guys, I'm ending the poll now in 3, 2, 1, and sharing the results. So majority of you actually answered the question correctly. We do have 12 pairs of ribs, meaning note that it's 12 pairs. You know, sometimes persons might actually count each rib and say, you know, you have 12 ribs. No, you actually have 12 pairs of ribs. And as Adam rightly actually stated in the chat, a more experienced medical student would have looked for the words typical or atypical ribs. And these are things that you're going to learn as you actually transition into medical school. When it is that you start learning about the classification of ribs, you learn about floating ribs, you learn about typical ribs, atypical ribs, and the very important rib that the first time that you see it, you're probably going to be completely shocked. You can actually Google it after the session. Your first rib is actually the ugliest rib that you've ever seen in your life, right? So yeah, it's not that easy, right? So let's go, guys. So I'm going to allow you to answer the third question. I know this is something that you should have learned in unit 2. The rib is actually very ugly. Like if you were to see, guys, the polling has started. If you were to actually, I'm not rib shaming. It's just that the first rib looks nothing like the other ribs. It's actually a very ugly rib. Right, so during fertilization, the egg and the sperm join to form what? Is it an embryo, gamete, fetus, zygote? Let's see if we can get 100+ responses. What's a woof? Right, so the answer that I'm seeing is correct. So it's actually the zygote. So you'll learn more about the classification as it moves from a zygote through to a fetus, well, through to an embryo and then through to a fetus, through to the postnatal period, whatever. All right, guys, so we're going to move on to the last 3 questions. So quickly, can we answer the number 4? You have 20 seconds to respond. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. So ending polls now. Right, so I'm seeing the correct answer for the most part. It's actually the ears. Yeah, well, the ear ossicles, the bones of the ear. And yeah, so let's move quickly into number 5. So let's go. What do you think this is? Right, so this is now a very interesting question because no one can make up their mind. Read the question very closely, guys. You have 30 seconds. Right, so time is up. I've seen enough. So I'm going to share results now. So the correct answer is C. So it's actually fetal urine. So congratulations to those 27 students. This is something you'll definitely learn in medical school. You do have amnioblast secretions in the early part, producing a very small volume of amniotic fluid. But if anyone ever asks you whether or not you've actually drunk urine before, you actually did, because that's what allowed for the development of the GI system as well as your respiratory system. And you actually urinated that out into your amniotic fluid and drank it again. So congratulations for making it this far. So yeah, you've tasted urine. So I'm going to stop that share and I'm going for the last question. I want you, and this is a very infamous question, to tell me which clavicle do you think this is? Is it the left? Oh, wow. Okay, so C is going to be left and D is going to be right. My bad. Who chose B? What clavicle is that? Your sternum? So C is left, D is right. So 10 more seconds, guys. 3 marks for everyone. Left or right? This will definitely come on your exam. Is this your left clavicle or your right clavicle? Remember, you have one, so feel it up and see if it's the left one or the right one. Right, guys, so I'm ending the poll right now. Right, this question, almost everyone gets this wrong in the exam. So I'm going to share the results. So barely leading is the left clavicle. So what if I were to tell you that this is the left clavicle? So congratulations to the 52 students that chose that, right? So again, you learn how to differentiate between the 2 clavicles. If you don't beat up yourself about it, but it's the left one, right? So we're moving on. So everyone is now involved and I'm proud of you guys. So let's move on. So let's move it quickly into what it is that we intend to cover throughout the entire schedule. So tomorrow we'll be going through some pathology, some minor pathology involving immunology that you've learned before, plus a few interesting details that will be led by Owen Hyatt. Then on the next day, which is on Saturday, we'll be covering some pharmacology and microbiology. Very interesting information about, well, drugs, obviously, and microorganisms. Then next week again, we'll meet here, where we're going to cover some anatomy, locomotor, or what they call muscles, bones, and joints at other campuses, and then pathology of the locomotor, and then we'll have our giveaway Kahoot competition. So guys, follow this, note that it's Jamaican time. You're going to be here, you're going to be learning, you're going to be having fun, and let's just have a blast, like the amnio blasts, right? Never mind. So let's move directly into what it is that we're going to be covering today. So understanding medical school, what did I sign up for? Everyone asks this question before it is that they actually enter into medical or dental school. Like, I'm pretty sure everyone has had their doubts moving into this. And let's clear it up. What did I really sign up for? When I clicked apply and all of that, what did I get myself into? Well, the first thing you really need to consider is that medical school is an interesting journey. It really is. And irrespective of all these stakeholders that you see here today, the partners from the TTMSA, from Cave Hill MSA, from SIG, from US, from Mona, everyone's story in medical school will be unique to them. And the biggest mistake majority of medical and dental students actually make is that they try to align themselves with persons either within their year or before them. And one general advice that I can give to you is to just be you, because your medical journey won't be the same as anyone else. And it's really up to you for you to weigh your strengths as well as your weaknesses and develop the best story that you can at the end of the time. So don't follow what Owen has done. Don't follow what Keziah has done. Don't follow what Gabriel has done and say, oh, I want to be like him. You want to be like you, but you might want to associate yourself with that actual person. Fair enough? Can I get an amen? Or whatever religion you guys ascribe to?
Amen.
Right, amen. So this is also a very nice picture. Something that a lot of people actually think about. So you walking around with your, what is it, school or studies, medical, dental school, and then you have to make that decision between medical school and actually sleep and social life. And that's something we're going to discuss today. This is also just a pretty picture of Eric sleeping in class. Brilliant student, but he actually just can't keep awake, so he needs to sleep more. So the first thing I want to do is just give you a general understanding of what did you sign up for from my Mona experience, very quickly. So in signing up for medical school, you signed up for an opportunity to actually learn, right? This is bigger than anything you've done before, I'd hope, unless it is that you went to rocket school before this and studied rocket science and you're an astronaut, but this is an opportunity to learn. It isn't about taking up your Kate book or your biological sciences unit 1 and 2, reading it and going to walk into your exam to get that 1 on placement. This is much bigger than that. It's an opportunity to learn and to continue learning. Remember, this is a field involving you actually going out and treating patients, and things will change on a daily basis and you need to keep abreast. So another thing you need to realize is that you're going to actually be reading for your degree. And there's going to be a huge involvement of independent learning guided by the lecturer. So quite obviously, each lecture, especially based on your preclinical experience, will be about, say, 50 to 60 minutes, plus or minus 10, 5 minutes, right? And what the lecture really is there for is to guide you, for the most part, as to what exactly it is that you should be studying or what your interest should be right now. But I'm not a genius. Maybe it is that I'm dumb, but what it is that the person comes in and says in 50 to 60 minutes is a summary of what you need to know, go home and read. So you need to be able to dissect the information from what the lecturer is saying, and you're going to have to be doing independent learning. Again, you've signed up for an opportunity to learn, to take from who knows more and to build your own self into being better than who is teaching you. Now, this is another very important point. You're going to be tasked with the responsibility of learning as much as possible and then sitting your exams. Medicine and dentistry are growing fields. Something is found out every single day. Something is learned every single day. That being said, majority of medical and dental students beat up themselves when it is that they're not entirely ready for their exams. Now, I'm not going to say that you shouldn't try your best to be completely ready for your exams, but be able to pace yourself. Be able to pace yourself from the beginning of the semester. Know that you have the responsibility again to learn. And at the end of the day, the night before the exam, even moving into the exam, it is very much quite possible that you won't know everything. And all it is that you've done from the beginning of the semester towards the end of the semester is pace yourself, take an advice from your lecturers, read, and know you're going to give your best shot in the exam. And I can guarantee you that that is exactly what you should do, and that is what will allow you to actually achieve success. So it's not about, you guys get my point. Another thing is sleepless nights, high on coffee, pre-read versus post-read. So this is actually something that will be unique across the campuses. Well, as everything else I've said, at times, again, these experiences may be different from student to student. Some persons need to sleep for 28 hours per day. Some persons like me can live on 3 minutes of sleep before going to class. It is really up to you to know what is best for you, how it is that you can function. You might need to resort to say, well, I resort to coffee and whatever, but these are things that, again, these are personal decisions that you have to make. If it is that you believe that you need to get some work done right now, you might have to sacrifice sleep. You might not. It's all up to you. You don't really sleep, right? And that, again, is a personal experience, right? Pre-read versus post-read. I don't see this being very feasible. It's something that's actually advised by lecturers. So before you go into the lecture, you must pre-read, like read about what you're going to learn. Congrats if you can do that. And then once it is that you've completed the lecture, you should then go and post-read. Congrats again if it is that you can do that on a timely basis. But again, this is just something that lecturers advise you to do. But again, just stick to being advised by lecturers and doing your independent learning. Teamwork and group studying is going to become a very heavy part of medical school. If it is that you cannot work in a team, if it is that you can't associate with a study group, I can bet my entire tuition for the next 10 years that you will not do as well as you can possibly do. You need a study group. You need to associate yourself with persons who are striving for excellence. Medicine is a lot to learn. That is the primary difficulty of medical school and dentistry school and dental school. It is not the difficulty of the content. It is the volume of content and what it is that you're required to remember. You can't sit down in your little corner, in your little hall room every single day, eating the book and believe that when it is that you're going to your exam, you can do as well as if you were to engage in active recall with your two little brethren who live down the same flat that you are on. I can guarantee you, and I can say from personal experience and from persons I know, that group studying, and it might not be group studying, but just being able to have persons you can throw questions off. So some persons need to be in a quiet environment. That's me. But at the end of the day, you must have someone you can call on and say, how does this go again? Or ask them a question, or they can answer you a question. That's how it is that you're going to succeed. Medical school is a high pressure environment. You need to be able to remain calm, find yourself in a dynamic environment. So the environment will change daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. You need to be able to adjust quickly, right? Friendships as well as relationships, you will be exposed to many. You have to be able to judge who is a friend, who is just using you, who is the parasite, and many of you will purify in relationships when you start university. Spotters and auspices, and being able to think quickly. I'm going to leave Cave Hill to actually comment on that. Cadavers at the Mona campus, we know that we have anatomy labs where it is that we have deceased persons that we actually have to study their muscles, their organs, with the guidance of the actual chief lecturers and anatomy lecturers. So that's something that some persons don't adjust to readily, because you're used to seeing persons that are alive versus someone who is cold and just lying on a metal table waiting to be cut open, right? One thing I can advise you to do is this is not the opportunity to be taking pictures. This is not the opportunity to be playing around with the body. This is someone who actually donated very generously their body to science, to medicine, to dentistry. And I am advising you guys to respect what the person actually promised to give to the university. So I don't want to go online and see you holding the hand of a dead person that I just studied from in the lab. It's very disrespectful, and it's something that's looked down on. For international students, you will definitely have your own unique experiences. You have hall activities. You will have, well, you'll be living on hall. You have to learn how to adjust very quickly, find where the supermarket is, find where the different resources on campuses are, where the library is. So that's going to be really fun. We do have fun, we do have parties, we do have class events, we do have UWI Carnival, we do have hall events. And remember, at the end of the day, we're all adults now, independence, we're actually big people. We need to now make very big decisions and take control of our lives. All right, can I get an amen? Or whatever you guys are involved in. Amen. Thank you very much. So I'm now going to invite my Cave Hill rep.
All right. Good afternoon, Xavier. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
All right, lovely. My name is Gabriel Herwood. I am the MSA Vice President at the Caveville campus in Barbados. And Xavier really touched all the points basically there just now. What you're really signed up for, some of the harsh realities, a severe lack of sleep. In most cases, once you actually get into the heavy load of the work, you are going to have to sacrifice a lot of sleep if you really want to do well, because you have to keep abreast of the work before the class. You have to go over the material after the class. You have to prep for labs. You have to prep for exams. A lot of the persons in this chat right now from KFL could attest that we sometimes don't sleep for days when we have exams coming around the corner. So if you're a person who needs a lot of sleep to function, uh, something is going to have to give. For the regional students who are going to a new island and have never been away from home, adjusting to living alone if you're off campus, or living around a bunch of people that you're not really familiar with, like if you're on hall or you have roommates off hall, it's going to be a big adjustment for y'all, as it was for us. It's not something you get through very easily. You have to become accustomed to it. So as you go further down into the experience, you make friends in your classes. You all tend to, group up, might tend to live together. It does become easier over time. The fast pace of the MBBS teaching is not like secondary school, is not like lessons back home. The lectures go fast. You'll have to pay attention. Some lecturers might not allow you to record, they might not allow you to take videos. You just have to work out the best way possible for you to absorb as much information in the classes as possible, because a lot of the information set in the classes are what really comes back on those exams, because not all the information being said in those classes may be on the slides or maybe on the PowerPoints. So that is an important part of what you're going to have to face once you all start the journey. Xavier left the spotters for me. Those spotters are practical lab exams. Some of those questions that you all just saw there, such as the embryo question and the clavicle question and the rib question, those are examples of questions that will come on the spotters. Yeah, the formats of those spotters change every now and then. So, given the fact that we all have, well, I'm not sure exactly what's going on the other campuses, but if you all have blended teaching where that will have online as well as in person, you all may have a online spotter, you all may have in-person spotter, but you have to remember you all have have to focus on the material being said in those labs to be prepared for the spotters, because those spotters are not as easy as any exams that y'all have ever done before. In balancing your academic life with the other aspects of your experience at university. Your parents might tell you when you're heading towards campus that you're going there for schoolwork only, to focus on your schoolwork. Everything will come after. In order for you all to have a successful tenure while at university, you're gonna have to have breathers. You're gonna have to have time to relax. You're gonna have to have downtime. For us in KFIL, that is our Friday evenings because we finish at 2. No work is done after 2. We have study groups with each other, all our friends, because we have a good relationship in the classes. It's important to build relationships with the members of your class, because getting through this thing is not something you could do on your own. It is a team effort. We say teamwork makes the dream work. That is a very important aspect of being in medical school. Knowing when to, take some time for yourself and relax and recharge. It plays an important role in being able to focus for the rest of your week and the weeks to come. Um, well, as we get into the topics in the coming days and next week, you all will see we'll mention some drug names. In every course, you're gonna have to come across and absorb a very, 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 very large number of drugs and what they do and how they affect the body. And we often complain about the number of drug names we have to learn, because it's really, really too much. You're really never gonna learn all of them by heart and understand what they do. But as the years go by in medical school or in dental school, it's gonna become easier. You're gonna become like muscle memory in your brain. You're gonna know it. But like I said, it's not all bad. There are good aspects, are great aspects of being at university. And I'm gonna introduce Cave Hills Events and Planning Officer Julian just to go over this with you guys. Julie?
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Julianne, as Gabriel just said. So he mentioned more of the negatives that you have to face while in medical school. But in Cave Hill, we have some specific events and some activities that you get to experience to make medical school worth going to. So I'm head of the events and planning, so I have to advocate for the events held by MSA, such as the MSA Week and the MSA Freshers Week. Last year, we had some events like the Sip and Paint, the MSA Gala, the FET, called Flatline Edition, and the Panic Room. You'll see some pictures of those just now. In classes, we also have some awesome interactive labs, like doing the blood test and learning to cast a splint. You'll also see a picture of that soon. It was really fun. Cave Hill is the most diverse of the 3 universities. And so in our university, you get to experience the most amount of regional students, and you can have a lifelong relationship with them. And it's worth fostering. You'll have all these people to be able to turn to in times of crisis, or just for you to have fun and to enjoy your time there. And for all of the regional students, you get to enjoy the different locations in Barbados, which are all amazing and beautiful, like Harrison's Cave and Oyson's, to go on Lime. You have places like the Gap, like Holtong, and all of the beaches in Barbados, and the different Lyman zones that you can go to, and the famous Flash Zone, which all Cave Hill students go to on a Friday. And this is not the end of the list. You have so many more things that you can go to while you're in Barbados.
Right, so I don't even want to know what the flash zone is, so we'll just move on, right? So go ahead.
Yeah, Flash Zone, an amazing place. Well, the picture on the left is our first splint lab we did in March of this year, right before school closed due to COVID. It was an amazing experience. We took turns doing the splints on our partners within the lab, and as you all could see, we took a big group picture at the end of the class. On the right hand side, this is scrub day. This is part of our MSA week, which is generally held in the second semester of the first year for you guys. It's again a class picture of all of us in our scrubs. On the picture on the left here is a picture, the best picture we could have found of behavior during our MSA FET, which is the last day of our MSA week. And on the right hand side, that's the MSA Gala, a pic of the MBBS class 2024. This is during the middle of the MSA week. And these are just some pictures of some of our students during the MSA week. As you can see there in the scrubs, this was from the health fair day as well, scrub day. And again, that young lady in brown there is actually Shanice Musgrave. She's in attendance right now. She is our MSA president and medical sciences rep on the Guild of Students at Cave Hill. And the picture on the right is the students of the MedSci student cricket team. Proud to say, this was last year. This was the first time we actually beat the lecturers of the faculty in a cricket match. As you can see, we have the championship trophy right above us there. It was a great experience. Let's see, look, Kevin Hewitt, best bowler on the team right there. You just commented. All right, thank you very much, Xavier.
Right, so we're going to move into our third campus, but remember team owner. So I'm going to quickly play this video on behalf of them. So Adam,
before you play the video, let me just showcase the video itself, right? But hi guys, good day everyone. Good afternoon to all those in Mona, Cave Hill, and St. Augustine. Glad that you guys can be here. So I'm Adam Ali. I'm from the UWI St. Augustine. I'm the president of TTMSA, right? And so this segment is about what you signed up for, right? As you can see from the thumbnail of the video, you probably know what's going to be played for those of you who are Grey's Anatomy fans, but I'm pretty sure majority of you guys would have heard about medical school, that you will experience cutthroat nature of the competition that a lot of people would experience, brutal hours of studies and classes and devastating 8 a.m. classes, right? So you guys probably feel like things are going to be like this. Play the video.
The worst of your life, you will be pushed to the breaking point. Look around you. Say hello to your competition. 8 of you will switch to an easier specialty. 5 of you will crack under the pressure. 2 of you will be asked to leave. This is your starting line. This is your arena. How well you play, that's up to you.
So med school is not like that as you could imagine, right? Your MBBS experience is going to be so much more. Specifically, I can speak for my faculty, but I'm pretty sure, and from hearing what all the other faculties have said, well, programs in the different countries have said, they have so many clubs and associations that will put out a lot of events for you guys. So it's not just about beating the books, it's about grinding hard, play hard, right? So you'll have a lot of games night, you'll have a lot of fets, you'll have plays, we also have art galleries and even a beauty pageant at St. Augustine, actually. So there's a lot of activities that we do to get a good social experience while doing the MBBS degree. So don't feel as if you're going to be at a library beating a book 24/7. No, not at all. There's so many events that goes on that you have to find time to actually be able to participate in all of the events you want to, because we have that much events. So, right, even if you're an avid sports player, we have our inter-year, inter-club, and inter-association sporting activities throughout the semester. So we also have our annual fun day. So you can see more pictures of that. These are just images of some of the different activities that we do as well. So on the left of the screen, I think that's my left, right? The ones with the persons dressed in black, that's from our fun day. We usually do a dance class, and we have our GCC Games Club committee. And they usually put out a lot of events. You be faced with a lot of trials and tribulations when it comes to just studying, because there's a lot of people that's willing to be there for you guys, right? So yeah, as you guys can see, we do a lot of these activities. So that was our dance class actually, and that actual dance class which consisted of all students from different programs. So we had our MBBS, we had our DDS, we had our nursing, optom. We usually integrate with all of our programs at UESTA. So we tend to make sure that we are medical sciences and we're all going to be health professionals in the future. And we want to ensure that we all reach there in the future, as well as ensure that we provide the best care as possible for the others. So next slide. Right, so as you can see, these are some of the other events. So as I say, we have a lot of events, right? But let's get down to business. So with the next slide with everybody dressed up, right? So you usually have, with that, yes, we have our fun and we have our social events, and throughout the semester, but in the end, we have to get down and buckle down, right? In the end, we came to this faculty for a specific reason, and we are here to actually study and make sure that we become the health professionals that we want to be in the future. But have no fear, guys. Honestly, for me personally, that will come later, sorry. But don't think that you're alone in this. Like, there's a lot of students out there willing to help you guys. In our faculty particularly, I'm pretty sure it happens for everybody, but I can speak for UE for sure, is that we have this nature where no matter what year group you are, no matter who you are, if you need help, we help. You guys aren't in this, and as you guys are in year one, you will see that a lot of us in year two. So you guys may have experience with Nirvana Dipner, right? She's actually helping you guys right now in all the group chats, and that's not going to stop. We're always going to be there for you guys, and we're always going to assist you guys. All the other campuses basically explain how the exams are run, and you guys are going to have all of those different experiences. But for sure, we'll explain that in greater detail when it comes to it. And all you need to know right now is that you're not in this alone, and MedSchool is going to be greater than you think it's going to be. So thank you.
All right, guys. So I want to thank the two campuses again, but remember Team Mona, right? So we're going to move quickly into the common misconceptions of medical school, and I'm going to invite my two Mona reps, Kelly Bennett as well as Ashley Gore, to do this for me.
Hey guys, so I'm Asha Gore, the head of events for the UWI Surgical Society, and as Xavier said, I'm just going to touch on a few of the misconceptions. So the first one is that you have to be a genius to do well. Now this is a lie, absolute lie. I don't know who wrote it, but doing well in medical school, it depends on you. Do not leave, don't come to university with the mentality that you have. Okay, Xavier. Don't come to university with the mentality that you have to be the smartest in your class. You had to be the smartest in class. Or you have to hold placements in the Caribbean or be top of your class, nothing like that. If you are passionate about what you're doing, if you're disciplined and driven, you will do well, trust me. Also, let me see what the second one is. If you're just average student coming from high school, you listen, this is a lie. No such thing as being an average student. I've always lived by the mantra that your situation, it doesn't define who you are. So don't claim yourself as average. The fact that you're here right now, it speaks volume. Also, don't compare yourself at all. Comparison is a dangerous thing. Do not tell yourself that you can't do it because someone else who you believe, quote unquote, believe is smarter than you did not get that A plus or that A. Eric Dixon, he always says to me, just do the dirt. You're already star. So this really means that you do what you have to do. Don't overthink it. You guys are stars. Okay, so just aim for it.
Okay, guys, my name is Kelly Bennett, and I'm a second year medical student at the Mona campus. A common misconception that persons have is, okay, you're not going to have a social life, you're gonna have to eat, sleep, breathe, breathe book. Well, that's not the case. As you saw before, medical students do have a life outside of school. I mean, when I was coming in, I heard, okay, all I'm going to have to do is study, I won't have time to do anything else. But really, as we've been continuously reiterating, it's really about you, your lifestyle, your experience, how you operate. So you, as was shown previously, we do a lot of stuff. We still party, you have medical students who are often the life of the party actually. And even if you don't like the party, you can still go on your little adventures, you go to the movies, dinner, whatever it is. I love to party here and there. I love adventures. So it's really about you managing your time properly and finding that balance. So don't limit party Africa, as Eric says. So don't limit yourself and say, okay, I'm gonna have to study all the time. Find how best you operate and try to adapt as best as you can. So try to aim to find that balance. And coming into play also is the no sleep thing. As Xavier said before, he can survive on 3 minutes of sleep. Personally, that's not for me. I love to get my 7 or 8 hours of sleep. That's how best I operate. So though, as we've been saying, no watch no face, just sleep is a misconception. Well, for me, I need my sleep. That's how best I operate. So as we've been saying, just find what works best for you and just try to adjust as best as you can. And yeah, so just no wash no face. And yeah, Xavier.
Okay, so two more misconceptions that you always find yourself thinking is I have to get through medical school on my own. And as everyone here was saying for the day, you don't have to get through this on your own. You have a number of students in your class. In Cave Hill, we have 60 students. In the other campuses, you have a lot more than that. All of these people are around you for 3 to 5 years to help you. You have ample time to make connections with these people, and it'll be beneficial for your social life and also for forming a support system and for sharing resources and helping each other throughout the entire year. And finally, our chief financial chair in KFIL thought that he was going to experience the Dr. Weber speech from Grey's Anatomy in episode 1. I'm sorry to disappoint all of you fans, but this is not going to happen on your first day of school.
Right, guys, so let's move directly into the real medical slash dental school. So I'm going to show you a little video. This is the Mona perspective. So big up Mona again. Mona is Team Mona. Okay, let's go. What? No. Right, so Team Mona. Yes, great.
System 1 loaded.
Bro, basic. Yo, bro. Wagwan, bro. Which party you a party tonight, bro? Anyway, you say the girl them a go, them me go. No worry about the like a river, me money flow. Plus me car wash clean like Jesus store. We saw you dance, but everybody a say aye. But they be mad, them no look good if you no get it, no get it. If you wanna buy coffee, just fi match it. That's when you come out of the road, everybody say ya this. Bro. Wagwan, bro. You are on the streets, one read, bro. Some a say you hype, me no see it, bro. To the watch by your wrist, just a freeze, bro. Wagwan, bro. You are on the road, one read, bro. Some a say they mad, but me no see it, bro. Big spliff in a mouth when me a pass also, bro. The girl a fat, bro. Never know a girl coulda go solo. Go for the number, bro, don't take no. And the way she whine, a mother must a go. The liquor when me drink a make me litty. Girl say them no care when the woman give me. Girl in any Paris state or any city coulda mark down like Jada, coulda tick like a mosquito. Wagwan, bro. You are on the streets, one read, bro. Some a say you hype, me no see it, bro. To the watch by your wrist, just a freeze, bro. Wagwan, bro. You are on the road, one read, bro. Some a say them mad, but me no see it, bro. Big spliff in a mouth when me a pass also. Yo, bro. Some of them boy a bad minded. Can't style we do because them can't style a G. Can't lock we out, neither we have one a key. Remember up here for my friend them like them a human cotton tree. Bro, now pay them mind, just get the money. Remember say you was to walk the video down in the gully. Now you neck just fill up a carrot like some Easter bunny. All the fighter, them the fighter, bro. You strong, you overcome it. Yo, bro. Wagwan, bro. You are on the streets, one read, bro. Some a say you hype, me no see it, bro. To the watch by your wrist, just a freeze, bro. Wagwan, bro. You are on the road, one read, bro. Some a say them mad, but me no
You can see we have fun even more than the other two campuses. So make the right decision, come to Mona.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Leslie Walcott. I'm a second year student for DDS, Mona. Are there any DDS students here?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so first thing, we experience the same thing as med school, it's just that we do a little more. So sometimes you'll feel like you're doing two degrees at a time. So time management is very important because we are expected to do some special study modules. So we have to do that anytime we have free because we don't have a summer to do them because medical students, they can do theirs during the summer, but we have summer term. So we have to do it throughout the year, anytime we're free. Yes, and okay. So next you have what works for some people won't work for you. So you have to try many different study methods. You see what works best for you. Try your best to do this in the early part of the first semester. All right. Yes, try to figure out everything by in the early part of the first semester. And my advice for the dental students as well, try not to fail anything because we have summer semester and it's hard to be studying for your resits and your summer semester exams. And also you don't approach your MBBS courses as unimportant. I made that mistake. I just thought I need to pass. Okay, I made that mistake and I just thought I need to pass my exams because I just need to make it to third year so I can start doing what I actually came here to do. But everything that you learned in first year, it comes back to when you're doing your dental courses. So it's very important to pay attention to the MBBS courses because they are important. That's it.
All right, so I'm going to now invite Eric to give a personal testimonial based on his experience in medical school. So Eric Dixon.
All right. I am Eric Dixon, third-year medical student, and I come from the Great Glenmere High School. But anyways, first of all, welcome to medical school, and I'll try to keep this short. So I came here in 2018, and when I just got here, I honestly didn't know what to expect because we didn't have a forum like this, and I had missed orientation. But when I got here, I met a lot of people. That is the first and foremost. I really put myself out there and I met a lot of persons. When it came out to school, I went to class. And as you can see from the many pictures, I was always sleeping because, I had hall orientation to deal with and that made me tired. And then most of these lectures are really a bore. They're really uninteresting. That's the very first thing. And for about the first 3 weeks of school, I felt like I was, managing everything, like I was going to class. I was reading a little bit and I felt like, meant not so hard, easy stuff. And then about the 6th week of school, I started to doing some little questions and I was just like, hold on, what is going on here? I really didn't know anything. And I say that to say, most of you are transitioning from CAPE, and what worked for you at CAPE will most certainly not work in medical school. And the reason for this is that during the year, at CAPE, you have an entire year to learn a fixed syllabus and you're given a syllabus. So you more or less have a guide to follow for 9 to 10 months. So, and I would say that is easy and the content is relatively small. In medical school, you have 13 weeks to learn a mammoth of information. Like it is ridiculous how much information you have to learn. And as a result, you will have to tailor how you learn and facilitate learning that volume of information in such a short period of time. All right, so that's the first thing. So yeah, man, so about week 6, I was just like, I don't know anything that's going on. So then that is where the teamwork came in, I used to go to the library often, and that's where I found a lot of persons who, more or less had the same goal. As in, they wanted to do well on their exams. I wanted to do well on my exams. So, I aligned myself with them. And I also made a lot of good friends in the first semester or first year who are still my good friends today. And that support helped me because you will come to realize that you aren't the only person struggling. So don't feel like, you're the only person having a bad time, the only person not understanding anything that's going on. There are persons out there who are more or less in the same position as you. So that's the first thing. And always try to reach out for help. You cannot do it alone. So ensure that you have good support of friends, as I was saying, because that is what will really get through. Because even though that I'm in third year, I am in a group with Owen and Xavier, along with two of our other friends. And just that support to know that, hey, I'm going through this. Hey, I can ask, Owen to explain that. I can ask me to explain that. Sort of helps, and that is what pulls you through med school. And one more thing I will say is that I'm trying to keep it because I could go on for hours about my experience so far. But one thing I can definitely say is be involved. And involvement doesn't just mean to, go to a bag of clubs and this and that. Xavier is an exception because most persons aren't good at schoolwork plus, being over involved. But try to maintain an adequate level of involvement because the thing is when you graduate in 5 years, you're not going to remember the one bag of studying, What you're going to really look back at is the amount of memories that you were able to make and the amount of persons you were able to meet and the experiences. That is what you'll treasure when med school is over. All right. So what I encourage you to do is if your class is having an event, go. If you're having med year 1 versus year 2 med games, go to it. Because that is where I met a lot of persons and it is those persons who will help you along the way. So put yourself out there, be involved, because you don't want to be that classmate who, I remember we were doing exams in second year and went to the exam tent and we're saying, that person look new. Like we don't know that person. Like you don't want to be that person. Like how can you be in a class for a year and nobody knows you? Like go out there, put yourself out there and be involved. All right. You're not just a med student. Studying isn't the only thing that there is to you. Trust me. And if anything, it makes you more productive when you are involved and not just studying all the time. I can tell you that. Because in second semester, first year, I was just like, I just study my book. And I got okay grades. And since second year, I've been like ridiculously involved and my grades have never been better. So that level of being away from your schoolwork can actually prove to be more beneficial than you might think. And my final point, my time is almost up. My final point, as I alluded to earlier, is to find out how you learn, right? That is really important because if you're one of the persons who likes to sleep, like me, then you have to ensure that you are able to do the maximum amount of work when you're awake. And don't fall into the trap of saying that or asking seniors to say, how much hours I should study for per day. And the senior probably tells you, study for 46 hours. And you go to the library for 46 hours on your phone, sleeping, and you probably read 1 page of information. That is nonsense. So I'd say take the first parts of this semester, find out how you study, refine your methods. You don't need to be studying for 6 to 8 hours per day to be successful. You can do a solid amount of work in 3 to 4 hours and go to your bed because I love to sleep. So that's my final breed of That's my final bit of advice for you all. And just don't be worried. Seniors are here to help you. If schoolwork keeping you see me about the place all the time, you can reach out to me via the hyperacademic / community that will reach out to me via WhatsApp whenever school ends and you might need any advice here or there. All right. So just take it easy. It's a learning experience. Oh, also, please leave your ego at the door. Please, not going to know everything. Reach for help. Please leave your ego at the door. And just because you got R1s at Cape, that means nothing here. Put in the work. Yes, that's my final bit of information. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Eric. Thank you,
Yes.
Eric. So I'm now going to invite Maguire to speak on behalf of the TTMSA.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I hope everyone is well. My name is Mugwai Penda. I'm a third year medical student and I'm the VP of Finance for the Trinidad and Tobago Medical Student Association. So I'm going to keep what I have to say very brief, but I just have a few pieces of advice that I want to give to everyone. Just know that when you're coming into med school, it's going to be a very new experience and you're going to find yourself growing in so many different ways. It's going to change your mindset. It's going to change the way you interact with people. So, just be open to the new experiences and be ready to change. One of the things I definitely want to talk about and outline to you guys is, you just want to be aware of your mental health while you're in MedSci because, as everyone has stated before me, MedSci could be extremely strenuous with the workload, the amount of information they expect you to cover, the amount of assignments that's going to be coming in. So what I realize a lot of people tend to do is they tend to let their health go to the wayside because they're doing their best to pass an exam. So, things like not eating properly, not exercising, not relieving stress, these are things that you have to focus on and being MedSci because you don't want to lose yourself trying to get this degree. All right. And so, just make sure to form relationships, be aware of the burnout. Having a good team is something that's definitely going to alleviate that. I don't want to overstress it because I know the speakers before me have pointed out that, MedSci is a team sport. So if you plan to go far and do well, be sure to form the right team. Another thing I want to point out too is that, don't just rely on the motivation. The people that succeed in MedSci are those who not only know how to work together, but those who are disciplined. When you first come into year one, there's going to be a whole lot of excitement. You're going to be ready to get started. You're going to be a doctor and there's going to be a lot of hype around it. So, you're over anxious and you're ready to study and you're going to get to work. That feeling is not going to last. And that feeling is not what's going to carry you over to year 5 and into the rest of your career. So be sure to have a plan for studying. Be sure to stay disciplined because that's what's going to carry you through. All right. And I had one more point that I wanted to make. As you decide that you wanted to get into this field, I just want to encourage everyone and to always remember their purpose for doing medicine. And remember that, this is an opportunity to go and heal your community and to heal the world. So it's a bigger purpose than just having clout. It's a bigger purpose than just having good grades and just saying, hey, I'm a doctor and I have the degree. Okay, you have a much bigger calling, which is the reason why you're here. So, don't get caught up in trying to have the best grades. Don't get caught up in trying to, get the 4.0 GPA or saying, okay, I'm better than the student, or like one of the speakers says before me, you have got all A's coming out of high school. So you feel like, you got to come to MedSci to do the same thing. And this is not to discourage anyone from working hard and want to do well. I encourage that fully. But at the same time, don't forget that the most important thing that you're going to be doing for your career is saving lives. So just remember that and keep that at the top or the back of your mind as you continue to study. So those are just some of the things I want to share with you guys. And thank you for coming on.
All right, thank you again, Maguire. So we're going to have our rep from Cave Hill, Shen Simmons.
Hi everyone, I'm Shen. I am the executive secretary for Cave Hill's MSA. So a day in Cave Hill. I will tell you that you need to find what works for you. And I learned early on that going to class doesn't work for me because that's a waste of time. What works for me is studying, and we stay on campus. We have an amazing group of people that we study with. Gabriel is part of it, and we stay on campus sometimes from like 6 p.m. until sunrise. During exams, we go home after the exam, and then we rinse and repeat. As Xavier was saying, we get like 3 minutes of sleep on a good day. That really is a good day. There are times that you don't even get sleep. So find what works for you. Also try to play on your strong suits. So early on, I also learned that anatomy, histology, and embryology, okay, that was easy stuff. But physiology, oh my goodness, I would kick my butt. So I really had to spend more time on physiology as opposed to everything else because that was my weak point. And as people were saying before, don't be afraid to reach out to your friends. Any good friend would want you to succeed and do well. But let me just state this as well. A doctor who gets all C's is still a doctor. So you don't have to get straight A+. Nobody's going to ask you when you go to the hospital to treat patients, oh, did you get A+ before you can give me that injection? Nah, don't nobody care about that. All right, C's get degrees, as somebody just said in the chat. So just don't kill yourselves trying to get straight A pluses. Just make sure you understand the work, because there's no benefits in getting an A plus and you still don't understand how to apply that information. All right, that's all I have to say for KFL. We're really excited to have you here, and well, I guess we'll speak more later on.
Right, fighting the good fight. Right? So we press, guys. So, Mona?
Okay, so we're going to speak about my personal testimony as a dental student. So I started school late. I was the last person to join. I started 4 weeks after everyone, so I had to play catch up. And I'm going to mention this because it's like nothing to be ashamed of, but I failed a course in my first semester. And it's nothing to, as I said, it's nothing to be ashamed of. You're not supposed to feel bad about failing, because as I said, you're just adjusting to university. But I think it helped me to become a more organized person and a better student. But us dental students, you should, as I said, please try your best to fail, because it's a problem in summer semester when you have to do your dental courses and your resit. But yes, I'm still alive, I'm still here, and you made it to med/dental school, so you're already great, it doesn't matter. But yeah, that's what I have to say about life as a dental student.
Trinidad?
Hi everyone, my name is Samaya and I'm currently a year 4 dental student at our St. Augustine campus. So just a little bit about my experience, my first year experience. I remembered when I first got accepted into dental school, I had so much mixed emotions. I was excited, but still nervous and anxious at the same time. But luckily, at STA, we have a week-long orientation, and some things became a bit clearer to me, but I still had all those burning questions, especially when you hear words like spotter and PBL. And I remembered how scary my first PBL was, especially because I didn't know anyone in my group. But oddly enough, PBL was where I actually made some of my first friends at med school. So a little bit, the first 3 semesters of dental school, you actually do medical courses alongside MBBS. And I remember thinking, oh gosh, why do I have to do this? Could I just do dentistry, please? And now being in year 4 and actually looking back at it, I realized how important these courses were, because they basically build the foundation for everything that you learn later on. And after you finish these courses, you switch over to dental school. And this was another adjustment for me, and it was challenging at first. But one of the things I like the most about dental school is the fact that our classes are so much smaller. So you build nicer and closer relationships with your classmates. So, whenever you're struggling in lab or in clinic, there's always someone around that who's willing to help you. And you even see this amongst the higher years. They always volunteer to share some information with you and give you a rundown. And I think that was something that definitely helped me get through dental school so far. So yeah, all in all, dental school has been a great experience. And I think like every degree, it will always have its ups and downs. And I wouldn't lie, it could be overwhelming at times, but it's just important to remember, like Maguire said, take a breath and you'll get through it. Take care of yourself. You eventually learn what's best for you, what's your study technique, what's your coping mechanisms, and you'll get through it. So yeah, I just want to congratulate everyone here so far, and I wish you the best of luck.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Sarada. I'm currently a third-year dental student at the St. Augustine campus, and I'm also the vice president for DSAT. So as Samaya mentioned before, in her preclinical years, that is how we do it at STA. So our degree is 5 years in total, and it is mainly split up into 2 main components, which is the preclinical years and clinical years. The preclinical years are from year 1 to year 2 semester 1. So it's really 3 semesters in total. And during these 3 semesters, we do medical courses alongside MBBS students. It is the same as Samaya said before, to build a foundation, because everything also ties in later into your degree. So never think that this is unimportant or you don't need to know it. Everything is important in these 5 years. And after we finish these first 3 semesters, you move into your clinical years at SDA, which begins in year 2 semester 2. Well, year 2 semester 2 to year 3 semester 1, this is where you do the bulk of your lab work. So you do things like taking impressions, you do restorative procedures such as filling on phantom head mannequins, you do crown preps, you do endodontics, which is basically root canals. And it is this foundation where the practicality aspect of the dental degree is done, so that when you do move into year 3 semester 2 till your final year, this is the period where we see patients on clinical rotations. So you have your actual patients and you get to perform these procedures to help you become a better dental practitioner in the end.
Okay, hi everyone. I am Brittany Gordon, a second-year dental student at Mona. So today I'm just going to be talking a bit about the DDS program at Mona. So as you should know by now, for both years 1 and 2, you're going to be doing medical courses along with the MBBS students. And at the same time, you're expected to do these things called special study modules. And from now on, I'm just going to refer to it as SSM. So SSMs, they were basically designed to give you early exposure to the practice of dentistry, right? So it's very important because even when you're starting your dental courses, you're gonna already have your foundation laid and a basic understanding. So you have 3 SSMs to do right now. You have 40 hours each, and it's a total of 120 hours. So you have dental anatomy, dental simulator lab, and clinical observation. Now, dental anatomy, its main purpose is to develop your carving techniques and hand skills. And how they do this, you'll get blocks of plaster that you'll have to carve into different shapes. So one day you'll have to carve a cube, the next day a cone, a pyramid. And it's not as easy as it sounds because you can't just slice down into the plaster because it's hard. So you'll actually have to have your carving techniques now. Now, next you have dental simulator lab. And basically you have your simulated patient and you're working in here, you're basically working on cavity preparations and ergonomics, which is how you posture yourself when you're working on patients, which you'll see is very important as you go along. And how the simulator works is the simulated patient is actually connected to a computer software. And so you can track what you're doing. So you can always go back over, review the preparations you've just done, as well as you're able to see the mistakes you've made. So you can either correct them, or if they're not correctable mistakes, you can know what you did wrong. And then finally, you have clinical observation. So I'm not sure how many of you know that the School of Dentistry at Mona, they run their own dental clinic up by the hospital. And this is where final year students, they go and manage patients. So you'd be observing them, their techniques, what they're doing, the different materials they're using and everything, watching how they interact with patients. And yeah, so those are the 3 SSMs you have to do now. And please, when you're doing them, pay very close attention to what you're doing, because you'll see when you're doing your summer semester, they'll be very important. So in years 3 and 4, that's when you start your clinical dental courses, and year 5, you start your clinical rotations.
All right, perfect.
Next slide, please.
Oh, thank you very much.
Not finished. No, not finished yet. Yeah. So you also have a 3rd semester in summer. It's 5 weeks long, and it usually begins 2 weeks after the end of your year 1 MBBS exams in June. So you have 3 courses: dental material science, dental practice, oral physiology, and biochemistry. And dental material science just deals with the different properties of dental materials that you're going to be using to do the restorations in dentistry. Dental practice is the practical aspects. You're going to be basically going over the run-ins of a dental practice, working on infection control, cavity preparations, basically the stuff you did in the clinical and the dental simulator SSM, and oral physiology and biochemistry. For this course, it's really important that you pay attention to your MBBS courses, because although it says oral physiology and biochemistry, it takes a lot from the other body systems that you would have already learned in MBBS. And trust me, it's really hard to get through this course if you don't already know your basics, because it's taught in a way that they expect you to know. So at the end of the 5 weeks, you have examinations for all 3 of the courses you did. But the good thing is that you have quizzes, presentations, courseworks in between. So they help to make up your final grade. So yeah, that's basically it. One more thing though, whenever you have anything dental related like classes, you have to make sure you are in formal attire, because that's a big thing there. So no jeans, it has to be pants as well. And even if you're having classes online, because they expect you to turn on your video, you have to be dressed up as well. So yeah, that's basically it for your first year.
All right. Thank you very much, Brittany. So we're wrapping up now. So we're going to move into one of the final segments, which is the registration process. It's just going to be a quick synopsis as to what exactly happens, and you'll most definitely get more details going forward. So, Gabriel, you have a comment on this?
Yes. As to avoid being repetitive, Mona's registration is basically just the same thing that we have for cable students. The differences we'll be using, of course, our own banner platform, CHOL, which the school, the faculty will be sending to you guys online, and you'll also get in your packages, whether it's online or in person. So just pay attention to what you Mona's about to say. It's the same thing as in cable.
All right, Abigail.
Yeah, so hi, I'm Abigail Lindo. So jumping right into it, as a student of UWI, once you get accepted, you're given a password and a username per se, which is really like your ID number. So it's tailored to specific details about you. As you can see right there, your password should be your date of birth, your date of birth, and you'll use this information to log on to SAS. This information is also communicated to you via email, whether it's the email that you registered with when you're sending your application to UWI, and also the UWI email that's created for you, your MyMona email. And as you can see on the slide, the steps are clearly outlined as to how it is that you do register. This document will also be sent to you guys later down, and I'm sure you'll hear of this again in your faculty orientation, which should occur, and you guys will hear about that as well. So courses to register for. So the courses in semester 1 are fundamentals of disease and treatment, introduction to embryology and histology, introduction to molecular medicine, musculoskeletal, which is locomotor, cell bio, and IMP. Now, cell bio and IMP are year-long courses, meaning you cover them in both semester 1 and semester 2. The first 4 I mentioned, you complete them in semester 1. And each course has a different aspect to it. So you have a lecture, a lab, and a tutorial for some courses. Lecture for some, lecture and lab, it depends. You'll also find this in the document that will be sent to you. Give me a second. Oh, also, as you can see where it says in the subject section, search for MDSC Medical Sciences, that is specific to MBBS students. For DDS students, your course code is DENT, DENT. And I don't believe that's in the document, but you guys will be given information on that as well. Last thing, in scenarios where you experience issues with registering for courses, say you try to register for a course and it gives you an error notification saying like, oh, you get like prerequisite score and test score ever, or some foolishness like that. What you can do is, or what you're told to do is request an override. You will also, whilst requesting the override, like a box will come up beside it and you'll have to describe why you're requesting the override. So you'll state, XYZ, I tried registering for this course, this issue popped up, and I would like to be approved for it. Also, there will more than likely be a system set up for persons that you're supposed to report to, like in Orier. I was the person that persons had to report to, and I passed on this information to admin. So they would send me their information, so meaning their name, their ID number, and what exactly the error is that they're experiencing with whichever course, and I would pass on this information to admin. So I don't know if you guys caught everything I just said, but everything will be outlined in the document and it will be sent to you guys, and you guys will hear about this again. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, hi guys, Sarada again. So basically the registration process I believe will be the same over all campuses, but just a little inputs before I go into this one is that for STA, both MBBS and DDS, we attend academic advising, which would be sent to your emails, your UE emails, advising you how to go about this process. For MBBS students, you are guided by the administration on exactly what to do, and if it is not so, normally first-year students have registration done for them by the admin. The same goes for dental students. So when you get this email, you'll be required to join either a Zoom meeting or a phone call, and the admin assistant will guide you through this. But if that is not the case, which is highly unlikely, then you follow basically the rules we have here. You log on to my UE, you select the first link that comes up, choose your campus, enter your student ID and password. From there, you go to your secure area, my secure area, click it, and there you will see student services, and you click registration. Under registration, you will then proceed to click my registration map and guide, and there you will enter your course codes. So the course codes will be provided for you at STA. However, it is different from what you would see in your booklet. Like on this side, you would see here MDSC, MDSC, PEC, MDSC, MDSC. Those are not what you would be typing in. You will be typing in CRN, CNRs, and they will be provided to you from the faculty administration. So there's no need to worry on whether or not you sign up for the wrong course, or you think that you deregistered yourself, or you believe that you have not selected what is meant for you. Everything will be guided accordingly, and the administration will definitely be your help as your right hand.
Right. So as previously described, Gabriel said that really and truly only the platform is different, but more or less what you should, the main takeaway point is the fact that this is an online process that you will be guided in so doing. So the final segment is what should I expect from online school if it is that this is what we come to. So these are common complaints that may come up. They don't have to. So students will often come into the room, is like, or sorry, not students, but the lecturer may come in and they'll be like, my mic isn't working, or students may say the same thing. You know, persons might be asking, can you repeat that? You know, doctors might ask a question and no one actually responds. And these are the various issues that we might actually see coming up. One of the major ones may actually be even about the internet and also the recording of lectures. But to get a bit more seriously into it, I'm going to be speaking from the Mona perspective, but this may more or less apply to the entire, all three campuses. So the first thing is that as a third year medical student, and I experienced it in second year as well, which I just ended, what would happen is that lectures are given through our VLE or our virtual learning environment platform. And what happens is that it has a little addition to it called BBC, not the Jamaican bad word, but the actual Blackboard Collaborate, which is an addition to it. And what it allows is that the lecturer can come in, display her lecture, and she will, and oftentimes she is supposed to, or he is supposed to actually record that lecture. Sometimes if it is that the lecturer isn't so versed with how to use that platform, they may actually resort to using the Zoom platform. Now, one of the major benefits of actually using this platform is the entire option of having access to recorded lectures, which do have their advantages as well as their disadvantages. Now, oftentimes students, the advantage of having online school with recorded lectures is the fact that if it is that you didn't get particular content during the actual scheduled time on the timetable, what ends up happening is that you're actually able to then go back onto the platform and review the recording, make better notes. But what might end up happening also, where the disadvantage actually lies, is that students tend to become dependent on that. So when it is that the lecturer says, hey, we have class at 7:30 or 8 a.m., no one wants to get out of bed. Now you do that every day for an entire semester, and you're now stuck the night before the exam with 60 recordings to then watch, and then you go and flop your show in the exam, and then you come out bawling that you never did well. So what it is that you have to do is create your own discipline. You have to now become disciplined and know, all right, if it is that I'm going to get up at 8 o'clock, I am going to attend this lecture. If it is that you don't see it fit to attend the lecture, use that time wisely, right? I spoke on the aspect, all right, so also pre-recorded labs. So you'll be introduced to anatomy as well as other aspects of, say, microbiology, physiology. What they normally do is that they might actually pre-record these and place it on the same learning platform, and you can watch as they show you the various muscles, the various parts of the organs, etc. Another very important thing you need to note about online school is the teacher-pupil interaction. Now, while it is that face-to-face learning does give you the option to raise your hand and ask a question whenever it is that the lecturer allows you to, the same thing can be applied to online school. You do have a chat section, you do have a raise your hand feature, and you do have the ability to mute your mic respectfully. And I would advise that if it is that you do have questions, ask it during the period. Ask it when it is that the teacher or the lecturer know, or when it is that she's present. Some of them may give you the option to send them an email, shoot them an email to ask them any further questions. But the safest bet is to ask them when it is that they're actually physically there. While it is that there's a bit of a disadvantage because some of you may be shy coming from high school and you love hiding behind a screen, and you'd prefer to ask questions there instead of in a classroom. This is something you need to also work on, become confident. Don't be afraid to ask questions, because when it is that you do your exam and you get your 49 and you flop your show, when it is that you could have asked a question and get your 51, you'll know then. And administration of exams will be online. What I must stress to you is you guys are going to be doctors and dentists, and even further and even better, right? Exams in some cases may not be monitored. You might not be required to keep your camera on. You might just be doing your exam in your living room, in your bedroom, on your laptop, or any other device you have accessible. Now, always remember, this is a life or death situation. Do you really want to be that person doing your exam with a book open next to you? And this is what we should stress. It is not about the grades that you get in medical school. It is more about, did you learn? Remember the first thing that I said to you. You got admitted to an institution whereby we're giving you the opportunity to learn. Getting the A+ in the exam while checking your notebook doesn't reflect that you've learned, because you cannot now go into clinical practice in the year of 2025, 2026 and forward, and a patient presents to you with peptic ulcer disease, and then you're going to be flipping through your notebook to then evaluate, okay, where did I write down these drugs again? What evaluation do I do? You're just going to look ridiculous. So use the opportunity throughout the semester to learn and do a fair exam that reflects how much you've learned. When you get that grade, you make an assessment in yourself. Did I deserve this grade? Oftentimes you do deserve that grade, and you go right back to the drawing board and you try to learn. I remember it's a learning experience. You move throughout the years and you learn more, right? So that's my little thing on online school. I've attached quickly right here some medical school resources. So you can take a picture. This will be posted as well. I'll send it in the group as to, depending on the aspect that you'll be learning in medical school, the actual topic, you can use it. I highly recommend most of these. Boards and Beyond is really good. Lecturer is really good, but my favorite from the list is undeniably Hyper Academics. They do give live sessions, live tutoring, great tutors, is guaranteed across the board. I'm pretty sure I have persons in here who have gotten A pluses in their exams because of Hyper Academics. They push out very good videos, very good tutorials geared at Caribbean learning. So that's something I would have to say outside of all the others. The others are geared towards more international students, whereby their diagnoses, differentials, and information may be kind of separated from a Caribbean context. And remember, you're tested primarily within a Caribbean context. So you get more information from them tomorrow. But I would actually say, even like separating myself from Hyper Academics at this point is actually a beautiful opportunity to reinforce what you know and actually do well in your exams. And they will let you do well in your exam and remember stuff. So that's my couple cents on that. So before it is that I get into the primary giveaway, and as we conclude now before 3 o'clock, I have a quick exercise for you to do. So I need you to take out your phones. I need you to take out your phablets, your tablets, your laptop, whatever it is that you're using. And in order to receive this prize that's going to be given at the end, the first thing you have to do is go on Instagram. So if you don't have Instagram on your phone, you're already loose. And then you're going to 1, follow Hyper Academics, 2, like their latest post, and 3, comment on their latest post in order to be the winner of an Amazon gift card. You must do the 3. Well, open Instagram, 1, follow Hyper Academics, 2, like the latest post, and 3, comment. Oh, I'm not monitoring this, by the way, so Hyper Academics will tell you. So 58 likes in 1 minute. You guys really want to purchase your tuition on Amazon. Right, so I'm being advised that this, in addition to all the other giveaways that we have, are going to be given out in our final session next week, Saturday. The other giveaway we have is that all of the content that we're going to be giving to you over the next 4 days, meaning Friday, Saturday, and next week, Friday and Saturday, that will be tested on the final day through a little Kahoot competition, and the top 3 students will receive a prize that I'm going to decide on, and that will benefit you, right? So there are many more to come, but I'm just telling you what I have in mind right now. And I'm being told that the winner has already been noted from the what I just provided to you. So congratulations to him or her. I don't know who it is. So that was my giveaway. So any questions, anyone? Thank you very much for attending, by the way. So if you have any questions, you can unmute your mic. Not all at once. Please don't kill me or any of the other persons.
I have a question.
Okay, who is it posed to?
No, I'm just asking you, Xavier. Can I qualify for the Amazon gift card? Because I think I need it.
What do you mean if you can qualify? What? Who's speaking to me?
Leslie.
Sis, time on, please. Sis, I don't know. Did you follow Hyper Academics, like the latest post and comment?
Yes, I did.
Oh, then you qualify. But 2 said they won. All right, go ahead, Dana.
Hi, good day, everyone. I'm Dana speaking. So I would just like to know if I can conclude after today's session that our classes for Mona would be would it be online or face to face? This is because I was going through the registration process this morning, and I noticed for some of the courses on top there were little writing saying face to face. So I'm still a bit confused as to if it's face to face or it will be online. Can someone just confirm with me, please?
All right,
Hey,
everyone.
Dana.
Okay, great.
Hey, Dana, it's Darren Booster here. What we would not want to make an affirmative statement on behalf of the university, but what I do know for sure is that they are going to give you a definitive indication of the plans very soon. However, we have to understand that, I mean, given the reality, I mean, even in the last 2 weeks, the cases of COVID-19 has significantly increased in Jamaica. Also, with the borders in Trinidad still being closed and many other countries still having these border issues. What I do know for sure is that the faculty does not plan to resume face-to-face classes with these factors still being at play, right? So although we are unable to speak with authority on behalf of the university, the likelihood is very high that for you incoming students, your training will start online, because it just doesn't make any logical sense to do otherwise, given the current realities, both in Jamaica as well as in many of the other countries from which the students are coming from. So I would say, don't really hurt your heart. Don't worry yourself, and also don't pack your suitcase. I think if it is that they had to get back to campus, that they would have indicated that to you already.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, go ahead. Is that Brianna Barrett?
Yes. I'm a student for the Mona campus DDS students. I was just wondering, around what time were you given firm acceptance? I was given a provisional offer, the conditions being that my Unit 2 CAPE grades are the same. So I was just wondering, at what time were you given firm acceptance? So did you receive your Unit 2 CAPE grades before you were given your firm acceptance?
This was for DDS Mona, right?
Yes.
Okay, so for me, I didn't get accepted until after my CAPE results came out, and it was still like a couple days after for Unit 2, I mean. So they should get back to you after results come out.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Any other questions until 3 o'clock? So how would you rate the session, guys? Did you enjoy yourselves? Did you learn? Are you leaving here more confident in your abilities? Thank you, Khalil. So I guess everyone else just hates me and hates everyone.
Could I
Go
say
ahead.
something? Okay, so good evening, everyone. This session was very good. I've learned actually a lot, really, and still kind of skeptic, but I have to overcome them sometimes. I just have to go in there and fight.
Wait, repeat?
I mean, I just have to go in medicine and fight, and the session was very good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
So see you guys tomorrow.
Right. So remember, guys, we're going to see you tomorrow. We're going to give you some information on hyperacademics, how it is that you can be a part of it, how it is that you can ace medical school. And we're also going to give you a taste of pathology. That will be led by Owen Hyatt as well as me for tomorrow. And we're going to get assistance from the other campuses as well as Ashley Gore and Kelly. So come on, be ready to learn. It's not going to be difficult. Come with an open mind and let's be brilliant doctors, surgeons, internists, everything. And big up yourselves. Yes, Simon, you guys have homework. So go and take up a book and read. Okay? All right, blessings, guys. Take care.